This podcast is brought to you in part by Academy Travel at MickeyVacations.com. Academy Travel is the official travel sponsor of the Pirates and Princesses podcast, and we can't recommend them enough. Go to MickeyVacations.com/PNP. That's MickeyVacations.com/PNP to get started on your next Disney Dream Vacation today. And now on with the show.
So glad you could come along.
I put a spell on you.
Grid is live. Initiate light cycle battle.
Welcome, foolish mortals.
For a safe trip, remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the cabin. Be sure to watch your children, and no smoking, please.
Welcome to the Pirates and Princesses podcast.
We're a different kind of Disney podcast. We do it our way.
We talk about Disney parks, Disney movies, TV, video games.
Anything Disney.
I'm your host, Tom Pratt.
And I'm your other host, Cambria Pratt.
Welcome back to the show, everybody.
Hello.
Pirates and Princesses. I'm your host, Tom Pratt, and I'm joined by my lovely wife,
Cambria Pratt. It's me. It's me,
Cambria Pratt. And we have some stuff we're going to cover this week, and we'll also talk about a recent trip to Walt Disney World. Unfortunately, it was me flying solo. Cam was not with me.
No.
So she was here taking care of the kids in the bitter cold, because it's Pennsylvania and winter never ends, and I don't know why. I'm trying to figure this out. Did you?
It wasn't bad until, we had our moments, but it wasn't too bad until this month. And then it's just like, hey, guess what? You thought I was gone. No.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's like, I took our daughter to go ride bikes like 2 weeks ago, and it was like sunny.
Longer ago than that. It was like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
I have no concept of time. As we discuss often, I have no concept of time. But it was a few weeks ago, and it was like 65 and sunny. And we're like, hey, winter's over, awesome.
We're like, Punksy Phil was wrong, yay!
He's a liar.
No, he was telling the truth.
But I'm sure some of you who are listening to this podcast are digging out from your own blizzard. And we're sorry about that, but we'll talk about...
yes, because we control the weather.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry that you have to deal with it, but we'll talk a little bit about some of the goings-on in Florida. And we're actually going to have multiple podcasts about this trip because we were joined by the Golden Grandmas.
Mm-hmm. Well, you were.
Yeah, the Golden Grandmas, who are very nice ladies. We talked about them before, and I got to spend a week with them. And so we'll try to get them on the show at some point in the very near future, and they can talk about their experience going to Walt Disney World for the very first time.
Yep. And you got my parents.
Yes, and the in-laws, Polly and Gary, were with us, and so I think they had fun. They got to use magic bands for the first time, so that was kind of
they
interesting.
were so worried about the magic bands.
Interesting experience for them, I'm sure. But so a little bit about it. We went down during Flower and Garden Festival, and this is the first time now we've been to Flower and Garden Festival before. This is the first time we've been down during the first week, and I think. So, it was really cool. It was very cool. They have some very cool topiaries this year. They have some awesome food, and I didn't get to eat very much of that food. I had like one thing because I was very busy, but it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
I didn't know you had even one thing.
I got a tart from the.
That's right. You said about the tart. I wasn't sure where you got it from. You didn't
No,
say.
usually, I was. There's only two snacks that I like absolutely have to get every time we go, and it's like a Dole Whip and a tart.
The key lime.
The key lime tarts, yeah, and they had them at the pavilion, so I have to go to the Sunshine Seasons and get them. So, but
which pavilion was that one?
I think it was.
Oh, you mean you were at one of the like little kitchens?
The kiosk, yeah, the outdoor kitchen.
I was like, which pavilion? Okay, the kitchens. Okay,
the Florida.
Farm
Fresh.
Use the right terminology.
I know. I'm not using
people.
Copyright, trademark. Yeah, it was I believe it was Farm Fresh. I think it was called.
I don't remember. There's one that was Farm Fresh. Yes.
Yeah, I think that might have been it. But it was basically the exact same tart you would get at Sunshine Seasons, but it had a butterfly on top.
Okay, then.
It was the same thing.
That makes it fancier.
It makes it extra fancy for Flower and Garden. But yeah, it was pretty cool. We went down. We got to see Rivers of Light.
Don't look at me. I wasn't there. You're looking at me for like, what do you think?
I know.
I'm like, I don't know.
I know, and I'm so sorry. Yeah, we got to see Rivers of Light, and it was okay. It was okay. I don't want to bash it. I don't think it was.
You should keep saying I got to see Rivers of Light because there's no we here.
Well, okay. I'm sorry. But it was. Yeah, it was okay. I wasn't completely blown away by it.
I've only seen videos, so I don't know.
Yeah, well, now Cam's going down with me in June, and we're gonna check out Pandora.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully, if we can actually.
Well, by then it should be open.
Yeah, if it's not open by then we got a problem.
Yeah, they changed something.
Yeah, we got a problem. But yeah, it was okay. It was okay. It was good. I think that's a show that, it's new, and I think they're probably gonna have to tweak it a little bit.
Well, yeah, it's a new thing. I mean,
I like the concept. I just wasn't completely blown away by it, but it's worth doing once anyway.
I like the Tree of Life show.
Yeah, I actually like the Awakenings, which we didn't see. I don't remember them
Well, we saw it before.
being there, but
I don't know this last time. I have no idea, but
yeah,
when we were there,
I think because the sun didn't go down until.
I just remember being really, really sick, and it wasn't anything to do with Disney. It was just because I had been sick, and I was like, "This is awesome, but I want to go to bed."
Actually, one of the things that kind of ruined it a little. Well, it didn't ruin it, but it was kind of awkward with Rivers of Light, is they have the music going and all that, but they're still running Expedition Everest, so you can hear people screaming as they're flashing the pictures of the animals, and it's like right next to you. It's like, it's tiger, turtle.
They aren't tossing the animals through the.
Yeah, they're not flinging the animals
water
on stage.
There goes your dream.
But yeah, so that and the Golden Grandmas, we did get to see the view.
So you went to the view.
Yeah, and it was hot, and but no, it was cool. The grandmas got to dance in between commercial breaks, and hopefully they'll talk about that if we can get them on. But overall, it was a good trip. I think it's a good time to go. It was a lot busier than I expected it to be. Because everybody says, "Oh, go in early March. Early March is great."
Don't go in early March.
It was really busy, and I think there was some kind of a cheerleader thing going on, some kind of a baseball thing going on, and then we're kind of rolling into spring break. But it was very, very busy. The hotels were at capacity. Actually, all of the hotels in all of Orlando.
As Tom found out.
We got into town early, and we were going to actually get a room in another hotel. We tried over in Disney Springs first, and then we actually had to drive several minutes out of town in Orlando. We still couldn't find a room anywhere, like no place, like nobody had a room anywhere in Orlando that weekend. And eventually we just went back to the resort. We were staying at Port Orleans, and they let us have an extra room for a night, which was cool because they're like, "You guys look really tired." I'm like, "Yeah, we're real tired." And so very, very awesome of them to do that. But yeah, it was really a lot busier than we expected. So I can't say to trust the crowd calendars. I don't know. I think they lie. I think either that, or maybe it's a case of.
It could be a fluke, but I don't think it is because a lot of people I've talked to said that it's busy then.
Well, I
know spring break's busy.
Yeah, well, I know you said before the crowd calendars. Like a lot of people, I think they swear by them, and then they, so everybody's planning their trips. Like, let's go to the.
That's right. Go listen to the crowd calendars.
Yeah,
people.
Follow them to a T.
So when we want to go down, it's not busy.
But then I was surprised. Like last year, we were there in July and in September, and it wasn't as busy as it was, this week. So
I wouldn't know.
I don't think there really. I'm really beginning to wonder. I mean, I don't think there is a light crowd season at Disney. Like it used to be, everybody's like, "Oh, go in January, go in February." I'm like, I don't know. I think it's still gonna be busy in January and February.
Disney's awesome, and everybody wants to be there.
No, that's true. I mean, with weather like this, people definitely want to.
Yeah, they would. Hey, when it's hot and I'm a redhead and sun and me are not friends.
Oh, well, we'll probably luck out and it'll rain all week.
Actually, some of the best memories we have at Disney always involve rain.
They do. I don't mind the rain because in the summer it dries so quick. Like I don't really mind it that much. And people are all like, "Oh, the rain sucks," but the park clears out. It's great. Like everybody runs away. And
well, last time we were there, we were just talking about earlier today. When I guess there's a big thing going on at Disneyland right now, where everybody goes down and they'll sit on the sidewalks, whatever, and save spots. Well, apparently you're not allowed to do that now at Disneyland. I guess you can't sit down and wait for the parade until they start setting up, like when they tape off the lines and put the robes up. Then you're allowed to go ahead and sit down, and only people that are with your group can sit there. You cannot save spots like half your party goes and rides, the other half stays there. You're not allowed to do that anymore, apparently, at Disneyland. Disney World is still not. They aren't enforcing that.
It's not as bad. Now, we did that. We're guilty of that last year. We waited for the Main Street Electrical
Just for a couple
parade.
hours, though.
In a thunderstorm.
Yeah, that's where I was going with it.
With Starbucks.
We did. We sat there and we got a spot, really, really, really good spot. There's videos up on.
We're right in the hub directly for the
Where
castle.
did you have the video of that at?
I think it's on our YouTube channel. I think I put it on the Kingdom Insider forums too.
But we got a really good spot, and we sat there for 2 or 3 hours, and nothing was chasing us out of that spot, including the lightning storm. So, parents of the year. So, while Tom went to get Starbucks, because the kids love Starbucks.
Parents of the year. Give the 9-year-olds getting Starbucks.
Getting coffee while we're sitting in a lightning storm. So, we're sitting there in the lightning storm. Now, in fairness, it was a little bit of ways. I mean, it wasn't like right on top of us. It was a couple miles away, but you could see the lightning hitting behind the castle. And a lot of people scattered. We didn't. We sat there with our ponchos, and the kids made these like little tent things together, huddled under a poncho. And you know what? If you ask them though, they would think that they talk about that like it was like the best time they had, even though we were in the middle of a lightning storm. And they're like looking at me like, "Is we okay? Are we okay?" And I'm thinking, I'm not moving from the spot. And I'm like, "Yes, we're fine.
We're not moving."
Is mommy panicking? No, you're. I'm like, "See, we're fine." And inside, I'm like, "Oh, please God, don't let us get hit by lightning at Disney World."
Yeah, I know. And that was the day they had the crane working on Cinderella Castle.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting for lightning to strike that crane.
Well, the workers came off of it early. We watched them come down.
They're like, we're not dumb enough.
I'm like, and
to
we're
sit out
hearing
here in the lightning
thunder.
storm.
We're hearing thunder in the back, in the distance, and I'm like, oh boy. And then Tom went to get Starbucks, and we're sitting there in this rainstorm under ponchos, and it was.
We were dry though by the time the parade started.
And it was great because everybody else scattered and we still got our spot, but we weren't moving for nothing.
Yeah, but, and then we got the rude people that came in behind us and were like, "Hey, I'm gonna saunter in 5 minutes before the parade, and I'm entitled."
Oh yeah, and they were yelling at the guy that worked there.
They were yelling at the cast member. Yeah.
But anyway,
Andrew,
that's not that. My point is, that's the fun that the kids talk about that story fondly, and some of the best fun we have is when it rains. That's a long way of saying that.
Yeah, this is a conversation that's worth having. I think sometimes it can be a whole podcast, but be like, your best Disney memories often aren't the memories you think they're going to be. Like, it's not necessarily, taking your kids to go meet the princesses or, doing all the stuff.
Sometimes that line's a real pain in the butt.
Yeah, I mean, the stuff that you think that is going to be the magical memories, the things that Disney, promotes as your magical memories. Actually, a lot of times I think it's the quiet times in between the chaos. I think it's worth, as far as, like memories on a trip, I think it's worth building those memories, those quiet times, versus like trying to ride everything or trying to do everything or trying to be first to this or first to that, because it's so chaotic.
Every time we go, the days that rain are the best days. Yeah. Always. I mean, every trip, when we think about a day that rained, it was like, oh, that was my favorite day.
Or our very first trip, our favorite day. I know our daughter she was only like 2.5 years old, but it had rained in Epcot. And everybody left, and we went and got fish and chips in the UK pavilion, and it was just quiet. And there's a duck, and then there was Donald Duck.
Yeah, one of my favorite pictures of hers then too. And then another trip, we talked about this stuff before, I think, but another trip it rained and everybody left, and we got right on to like different rides, and you guys were on the carpets.
We were on Aladdin, and they just left it go.
You guys were like, there's water all over.
It was the water was literally like an inch deep inside the ride vehicle, and we just rode Aladdin a couple times in the rain. We were already soaked, whatever.
Who cares? But
it's not really.
But anyway, that's kind of
not really a photo pass moment, but it was still fun, and we still remember that.
Oh, that would be a photo pass moment for sure, actually. Okay, so anyway, we're going off of that because we went to tell a short story. We ended up making it a long story because that's how we are. But what else? Oh, speaking of hotels and stuff, I want to talk about the more updates on the Caribbean Beach.
Caribbean Beach is really getting worked over. I guess they're I think we talked about before that they're going to bring in like food kiosks. They're going to have a buffet. People are worried about staying at Caribbean Beach because of all the construction, because of whatever they're updating. They're not.
Which we've mentioned this before.
Yeah, we've mentioned this before. So this is the ongoing Caribbean Beach.
Okay, so let's
saga.
The new update is.
The new update is it has been confirmed. We weren't sure in the last podcast, but it has been confirmed that if you book a trip before March 20th, okay. At Caribbean Beach, and
for stays between May 1st through June 30th. May 1st of 2017 to June 30th,
yeah, so it's like
2018.
a little over a year that they're going to work on this thing. That you will get a $75 Disney gift card per night of your stay to compensate you for the inconvenience of it being a demilitarized zone.
But you have to have it booked before the 20th.
Right, because I think what was going on was a lot of people were like, hey, free gift card, let's go book a trip, because that's like a year and a half window that you've got, and people are like, hey, we'll just book a trip, but yeah, you have to do it before the 20th. But yeah, I mean, that's a ridiculously good deal. If you don't mind the construction, they said that they're not going to do any construction until after 9 o'clock in the morning. So most guests, if you're not eating at the resort, you're probably not going to notice much of a difference.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
I mean, and you're getting $75 a night. So
it's pretty busy because everybody's trying to book it.
I know. We were thinking, hey, nobody's going to go there. Well, I think what happened, I think why they offer this is a lot of people were jumping ship because they let you change hotels if you wanted to go, Port Orleans or something like that. There's no charge, and Port Orleans is more expensive than Caribbean Beach. So they were letting
Don't
people.
know why.
I don't know. I like Caribbean Beach better. Personal preference. But I can see why they're doing it. They're worried about not hitting capacity because people are scared off by the construction.
Misadventure Falls. Typhoon Lagoon has a new ride. It's a family raft ride.
Yeah, they closed the Shark Reef, I think they closed.
I don't know. It's been so many years since I've been there. Last time I was there involved sun poisoning and nasty sunburns, and not for all Disney's or anything. I'll tell that story in a moment. But so I guess you can load into rafts that hold up to 4 people, and you navigate twists and turns as you go through the collection of Captain Mary Oceaneer. She was a treasure hunter, and she was a hit a rogue storm and was trapped at Typhoon Lagoon. So you get to check out her artifacts and like a whitewater rafting type thing. It
looks pretty cool because I mean it's your typical kind of like raft lazy river type thing, but then they've got the animatronic parrot, and it looks fun. I mean, it does look fun. It looks a lot better than a video our kids were watching on YouTube this morning about Action Park. It was an old theme park in New Jersey, and they had a water slide too, except it actually had a 360-degree loop in it that people were getting stuck in.
On a water slide?
On a water slide. They called it Cannonball Drop or something. It's called Action Park. They went out of business. Can't imagine why.
Oh, that's the one I said that the people kept dying?
Yeah, they were dying on this ride. They were going down, and it was like a 360-degree
nothing can go wrong with that.
The loop on this.
On a water slide.
On a water slide.
Oh, nothing can go wrong there.
So people actually had to build a hatch at the top of this water slide to get people out because they would get stuck in the top of the water slide.
Well, no, thank you.
No.
But the last time, you guys haven't really done the water parks. That's probably my fault because
I'm not a big fan of water to begin with.
Well, that's true. Tom almost drowned as a child, so he doesn't like water. And I don't like sun because I'm very, 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 very fair skinned. And last time I was at Typhoon Lagoon, I put sunscreen on. And I kept asking my brother if I was getting sunburned. And he got tired of me asking. Now, we were kids. He's like, no, you're fine. You're fine. You look good. Well, as it turned out, one was sunburn. Sometimes you can't see it for a while anyway. Severe sunburn to the place that had sun poisoning. I think I said this before. The nurse almost sent me home or to the hospital. Somebody to the hospital. So, yeah, I haven't been back since. So yeah, if you're like a lucky person who doesn't, fear sun or water, go check that out. It looks pretty cool.
Check it out.
I'd ride that. I'm just worried about sunburns. So, Adventures by Disney are going to have a dance, dine, and dream like Belle on the Adventures by Disney Rhine River Cruise. So they have a couple cruises this year. They're going to be doing this one that's like Beauty and the Beast inspired. They're going to be immersed in the tales all this time during a Beauty and the Beast themed dinner. Enjoy other unique culinary experiences inspired by the film. Screenings of both the live action and animated versions of the film on board. I guess that they're doing this, and I know there was another one they're doing. They had like a Danube one there they were doing too that you can book. But there's different adventures by Disney Cruises they have out this year over and like a river cruises in like, Europe, France. So but they're doing one that's like a Beauty and the Beast inspired.
Of course, because everything right now is Beauty and the Beast inspired. So should we talk about Beauty and the Beast?
You mean the fact that everybody's freaking out about Beauty and the Beast?
The fact that everybody's freaking out about the gay agenda in Beauty and the Beast.
I don't understand why this is a surprise. I mean, have you seen the original Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah, I mean, normally best buds don't break into song about each other.
About
their
I mean,
muscles.
I'd be a little concerned if you start singing about your friend, about how brawny and hairy and wonderful he was. I'd be a little concerned.
Yeah, so
and then the statue.
Oh, the statue in Fantasyland. If you've ever been to Gaston's Tavern, outside they have a statue of Gaston and LeFou, and LeFou is underneath Gaston, collecting his overflow of beer or ales or whatever it is.
That's dripping off of him.
Dripping
I'm like,
his sweat. I mean,
so I'm not understanding why people are surprised by this.
I don't know, or why it's even. Why is this even an issue? Yes.
I don't know, because
What
I
year are we
mean,
in?
the fact is, it's always been implied.
Yeah, I thought.
I mean,
it was a little more overt. Now we did see the movie.
Yes, we did. We did see it yesterday.
Yeah, we did go see the movie this weekend. So I mean, I'll be honest. I didn't think it was.
It really wasn't bad.
It was kind of more of a ha-ha,
Yeah, it wasn't like.
Yeah, it wasn't.
What people were worried it is and what it actually is are two different things.
Yeah, it wasn't Brokeback Bell. Don't.
It wouldn't be Brokeback Bell. It'd be Brokeback
Beast.
Gaston. It wouldn't be Brokeback Beast either. It'd be Brokeback Gaston. But
it was not. I mean, it's. I'm like, why are we even having this conversation in 2017?
It really wasn't bad. And honestly, if I hadn't gone in knowing that there was supposed to be some stuff there, I don't think I would have noticed anything.
Yeah,
I would have thought it was as part of the joke.
Yeah, I mean, the joke kind of was he had an obvious crush on Gaston. Gaston's out of the picture. We're gonna spoil the movie.
It wasn't even that obvious of a crush though, because he talked about girls too. Remember?
That's true.
They talked about his ex-girlfriends and stuff.
That's right.
Honestly, if you didn't go into and later on it wasn't the one part you're talking about I think was at the end.
Yeah.
And he was dancing with a girl right before that. So
yeah.
It wasn't really anything.
It was more of a haha. So LeFou might be
Or LeFou could go either way. Who knows?
Yeah,
I mean, it really was set up that he could go either way.
It was the non-issue, really, and everybody was making it out to be like some huge, like it was a major plot of the movie.
And it wasn't. It was, if you weren't looking for it, you wouldn't have noticed anything.
No.
It was done in such a way that it was not obvious, and you wouldn't have noticed a thing.
No, and then some people were having a problem with that too. So it's like there's no way to make it. I mean, it's the movie itself was very, very close to the original animated version.
Very.
There were a couple more jokes thrown in.
They explained some things better.
Yeah, which I thought made sense.
And LeFou, he was
Josh Gad
great. He was amazing. I mean, he made parts of the movie.
Yeah, Josh Gad was amazing as LeFou. LeFou definitely. Was one of the more personable.
I know, I loved him. I mean, he did such a great job with him, and like I said, people were all worried. People were really worried about. There's people like reading blog articles how they're boycotting Disney now over this, and they hadn't even seen the movie because it was before the movie came out.
It doesn't matter the way people are these days. You can even imply that there might be something that might rattle their bones, and they'll go off. It doesn't matter if you're on the right or the left; they will go off.
Whatever their point is.
Whatever their point is, and they'll take to Tumblr or Facebook. And
when I actually saw it, I'm expecting it to be like, wow, people are boycotting it because of this. And I'm like, wait, if I wasn't looking for if I wasn't specifically looking for this, I would not have interpreted some of the things as that.
I think it might have been, maybe on Disney's part, a bit of a PR misfire, because I think they were trying to
look how inclusive we are.
Yeah, look, we're inclusive, which they were. I mean, because you look at a lot of the relationships in the movie, there were a lot of interracial relationships in the movie, and they made a very strong point to do that, which I think is really cool. But I think they were trying to be like, hey, not only do we have interracial relationships, we also have our first gay character.
But it wasn't really.
But it wasn't that big of a deal. It
no,
was like
but it wasn't really. You wouldn't
know he was gay
because the other things that were said in the movie. It could go either way.
He gay? Or that's the thing too. It's almost like was this character actually gay, or was it a joke? Like he might be gay because it was, and he was really such a small part of the movie anyway. That
honestly, if you were not going in there looking for what the supposed thing was, would you have even caught half of it?
No. I would have thought, haha, it's funny, and LeFou's dancing with a guy.
So my point is,
I wouldn't have thought
my
of it.
point is, people are getting all bent out of shape and boycotting it over this, that they're so worried it's going to be so bad. And I'm just telling you, if you weren't looking for a lot of it, you wouldn't have noticed.
No, it's not like...
It fits as if it was a part of the joke. It doesn't,
Yeah, because LeFou, I mean, it's kind of the joke.
You don't have to worry, if you're against that, you don't have to worry about your kids. I mean, it's
but the children. But I love the one meme they have going around Facebook where it's like, what, keep your homosexuality out of my bestiality.
My favorite bestiality movie.
My favorite bestiality movie. It's like, I mean, I think there are bigger issues. I mean, I'd be more worried about, and some people brought up points about Belle and Stockholm syndrome, and whether or not she's part of where you fall for your captor.
Yeah.
And I think those
like
are
Harley Quinn and the Joker.
Yeah. I think those are more like pressing questions than whether or not LeFou, what side LeFou's playing for. It's
and
just
honestly, with a couple things that were happening throughout the movie, he could go either way, I think. But
and I think that was kind of the joke too. Like,
I just think it's kind of
funny.
all I'm saying is, I understand people are for or against things, and that's their personal opinion. I totally understand that. I just think that it's got blown out of proportion.
It was completely blown out of proportion
because it really isn't bad. It really isn't.
And apparently it didn't affect the box office performance at all, because I just before we recorded this saw that it's like one of the top 10 openings of all time in the U.S. I mean, there were a lot of people there.
Oh, and it was beautiful. I mean, I love. There's things they added to explain things. One thing I liked, and I'm going to say this, and it's not going to spoil anything, is that I liked when they had the petals drop of the rose that you could actually see the castle and parts of the castle fall apart. So it was like actually
the castle was crumbling.
Yeah, that was actually really cool.
I like that they showed...
I don't want to ruin anything, so...
No, I look...
If you saw the movie,
If you've seen the animated movie, you've basically seen...
Guess what? The Beast is a prince, and he comes back to being a prince at the end. Ruined it.
Yeah, I mean, there really aren't many surprises at all. And the movie is very, very, very close.
Very close to the...
Which is kind of... I mean, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. It's a good thing because I think some of the live-action movies like Maleficent and Alice in Wonderland, I think they really veered too far off the source material.
But then you can't say about Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, apparently, I'm sorry, Alice in Wonderland fans. Apparently, I inadvertently angered some of you by saying I wasn't looking forward to any more Alice in Wonderland movies. But I'm sorry, I'm not. I like Johnny Depp, though. I think he's a great actor. Just not a big fan of those movies. But Maleficent really veered off, but then some of the other ones that were pretty close. I mean, The Jungle Book. I think the live action version was better than the original animated version. I didn't
like either. No, not because they weren't done well. I just don't care for Jungle Book.
Yeah, but I mean, as a movie, I mean, they stayed kind of close to the story, but they embellished, and it actually worked out really well.
That's what I did with this. It stayed really close to the story they gave you. And they tied in a couple of things of the original fairy tale parts to the story too. I caught a couple of things that were the original fairy tale, but it was done well. I mean, it was really cool to watch. It was,
Yeah, I mean, it was a good movie, but it will. There, like I said, it's if you've seen the animated version, you've basically seen. Now there are some things that did not translate. Our kids kind of commented that didn't translate well from animation to.
It works in the animation, but when you try to put in live action, it doesn't work as well as one would hope.
Yeah, let's just say all of the musical numbers are in the movie from the animated version, and
then some new ones,
and a couple of new ones. But some of those musical numbers don't work well in live action.
Yeah,
and you can probably take your guess as to which one.
I don't know. I don't think that was that bad.
I think it was that bad,
but
it was a bit jarring. I think it was very bright and colorful.
It was very bright and colorful. I thought that was kind of fun, but I don't know. I mean, a lot of people like it. It was good. It was a good movie. I just it's not much different than the original. There is some. I did like they explained some things better. Yeah. And I do like some of the choices they made. I'm just saying.
Oh, Dan Stevens was great.
He can sing. Yay. But all I'm saying is if you're really concerned about that, I wouldn't be concerned about that because it's not. No. It's so not. If you're not, you only notice it if you're looking for it. I think.
I'm like.
It was more like slapstick joke.
I just I don't even understand. I think I think Disney was trying very hard to show everybody how inclusive they were being, but it's kind of like it kind of does like a disservice to both sides. But I
think you're gonna find people are upset at either side.
Either way,
and
because
I
they're gonna be like,
and I can understand both sides.
Because he really, frankly, I mean, not to ruin the movie, but LeFou, I mean, it was kind of a joke that he probably is gay, but it was never actually confirmed that he was a gay character. He just obviously was touchy-feely with Gaston, had feelings.
Obviously was very much very attached to Gaston.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. So, yeah. So I don't, I don't know. I mean, personally, I think it was a great movie.
I'm saying don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we honestly don't care either way.
No.
We never get up.
I can't believe we're even. Again, I'm trying to like, what year are we in? I can't believe we're having this conversation.
But for some people, it really, really matters to them for whatever reason. On either side, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna say, if you're on the side of, should I take my kids to see this because I'm worried? You don't have anything to worry about.
I think I would worry more about taking your kids to see it because of the. It's pretty dark in places. The wolves are more terrifying in live action than they were, and the beast is more terrifying in live action than he was in the cartoon. Cartoon, he just looked like a big dog, and here he looks like gnarly Bigfoot. So, but no, overall, I think it was a good movie. I'd give it like an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it was pretty good. So, that's Beauty and the Beast. Go see it.
Speaking of Johnny Depp, one of the trailers they had before Beauty and the Beast, and we talked about it on the blog before, is the new trailer.
Yeah.
And that made him, they de-aged him. You gonna talk about that?
Yeah, we can talk about that. New Pirates of the Caribbean, they have a new trailer, and now there have been trailers for Dead Men Telling No Tales before, but this one they're actually showing a younger Johnny Depp. So they're using the same technology they've been using in the Star Wars movies.
Yeah,
they used it in Tron. They used it in the Avengers. So they de-aged Johnny Depp and to show like a flashback.
Like he was younger, like he was a kid or like 20,
teenager,
like late teens, early 20s.
So Disney really likes this technology, I guess, and it gets better and better.
You got it from it.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's come a long way since, because Tron Legacy he looked really odd. Jeff Bridges looked really odd, but you could get away with it because he was a computer simulation.
Yes, it didn't matter.
Yeah, but
it works in this, and it looks good, and so.
Yeah,
the trailer wasn't bad.
No, I don't think it looks bad. It looks very similar to the first movie.
Yeah, that's my
very, very.
I actually
similar.
said that to you when we were watching the trailer. I'm like, it's the first movie all over again.
Pretty much.
I'm like, what is it? Like, hey, we got a new Star Wars movie. That's the first Star Wars movies all over again, and a new Pirates of the Caribbean that looks like the first movie all over again. So
yeah,
I'm like, okay,
it does, because apparently the male lead is supposedly it's going to be Will Turner's son.
Is that who it's supposed to be?
Supposed to be, yeah. And
there's a new girl that's very much like Elizabeth.
Yeah, and they run into Captain Jack, and they've got the
Ghost Pirates
looking for revenge, and they kind of toned it down because now they're back to the original sort of Ghost Pirates versus the weird fish people and all the other crazy stuff they had in the last
So it's basically like the same formula from the first movie.
Yeah.
We won't know until we see it, of course, but it's very similar. And I said to you, I'm like, well, this is the first movie again.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, supposedly this is gonna be the last one. I've heard it's gonna, and they even said in the trailer, the final adventure. So maybe they're just trying to bring it full circle. Like this is where,
which makes sense.
It ends, but I'll go see it.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, I like the fourth one. I think the second one was okay. The third one was just gonzo nuts. Like I didn't care for the third one at all.
Yeah.
But if it's as good or at least close to as good as the first one, it should be worth the price of admission anyway.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
So and what else were we talking? Oh, they didn't announce they are doing another Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be with Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of talk that they were thinking they would do new ones, but they'd be like, like new Han Solo movies where they go back and he'd be younger, or even younger than when you saw him, in the original Indiana Jones.
That would be really odd, because I was thinking how they would do that, because I'd heard they were talking like maybe have Chris Pratt do, which I think he would make a great Indiana Jones personally, but I'm like, how do you do that where you've got, Han Solo movies on one hand and Indiana Jones movies on the other hand, and you've got two different actors playing a young version of...
Well, because they're different universes, so you can do that.
Yeah, I know, but it would be really odd, I think.
It would be odd, just to us, because
they're very much, both of those characters are very much Harrison Ford.
I understand that, but they're two separate characters, two separate properties. But yeah, supposedly Harrison Ford is coming back. I don't know if it's going to be like he's there and he's going to pass the torch kind of thing.
Well, I think they were trying to do that with the last one, Shia LaBeouf, but
thank God that didn't happen.
I would not go see Shia LaBeouf the greaser swinging like Tarzan.
No.
That was like ridiculous.
As entertaining as I find him, I would not want him to continue the Indiana Jones movies. But so yeah, he's come back and Steven Spielberg's directing it, like he directed all the other ones.
Yeah.
Another person that's like older than old.
Yeah. Well.
And so yeah, but I mean, I'm glad that they're going to continue and bring him back. I think that's a good idea personally, but
yeah, I mean, you almost have to. I just hope they don't kill him off in this one.
That's what I'm afraid they're going to do, like they did with Han Solo. I was so upset when they killed Han Solo. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, I'm still. Yeah, I mean, I understand he wanted out, and he wanted Han Solo dead in Return of the Jedi, so he had to come back.
Well, that's true. That's true. He did.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we have to keep watching for news on that. And then I was going to mention, should we mention the new Iron Fist on, that's Marvel, so that'd be Disney.
Yeah, it's
on Netflix. It started on the 17th.
The first couple episodes are
painful.
They're painful. It's so slow. It's like, okay, if you've seen Arrow, right? So you've got spoiled rich kid, disappears for years and comes back and tries to reclaim his company while also being a vigilante superhero. It's basically the same thing.
But not as entertaining.
But not nearly as entertaining.
Now, I mean, we're on like what, the 5th? We're going into the 6th episode now.
It's gotten better.
It did get better. We haven't seen the whole thing yet, so we'll keep you apprised of that. But the first 2 episodes, I wanted to punch someone because there was very little Iron Fist until the end of the 2nd episode, and then it was all, you're not who you say you are. You're not who you say you are. And it was like, okay, you could all wrap this up in 1 episode.
Yeah, it was. There was a lot of talking. And none of the characters were particularly likable at the beginning, and we almost didn't continue to watch it. The first 2 episodes are absolutely painful. It does get better, and it's actually the point now where I'm somewhat interested, but it did not grab me like Daredevil. I mean, Daredevil really was awesome. Haven't seen Luke Cage yet. You've seen Jessica Jones.
Yes, yeah. They're Jessica Jones is, all of them are a lot more adult. I wouldn't let your kids watch them.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about Iron Fist yet, but the other ones I would definitely.
So far, Iron Fist I think is the tamest.
Hasn't been so bad. I haven't seen Luke Cage though, so I have to catch up on that.
I'm gonna assume Iron Fist is, but I mean, they are tying it into Daredevil, that universe,
and they're gonna do the Defenders show on Netflix.
Yeah, which is
they're working on now, I think.
I think they're filming it.
So that ties everybody together.
So sort of like the Defender verse. I mean, it still takes place in the bigger Marvel Cinematic Universe, but it's part of like the Defender verse.
So anyway, that's what's going on. Anything else you can think of to speak on? New Tsum Tsum's coming.
Oh yeah, they're supposed to be doing Maui and Moana. I guess they came out in Japan, and they're going to be doing another Star Wars event.
We know the Star Wars event is. I can't speak. We know the Star Wars event is coming here, but I don't know if Maui and Moana are.
They probably will. They usually do bring them out over here, but I don't know if they'll have their own event or if they're just going to drop them. Like they had Mowgli the other week, and then he was there for 2 days. Like 2 days.
And then, and then one more thing, and then we'll go because we're not trying to keep you on here forever. They have the trailer for Coco.
Oh yeah, it looks pretty good.
It's really too soon to tell. There's not much just showing.
It's gonna be one of those things. It's the same director who did Inside Out, and it's gonna be interesting because like Inside Out, I had no hope for.
I didn't either.
Really dumb.
Their trailers have not on Zootopia and stuff too. It looked kind of like this isn't gonna be very good, and then you go and it's like, wow, that was amazing, and they're really not doing
justice.
A great job on getting across in the trailers how awesome the movies are.
Yeah, or they oversell it like The Good Dinosaur, where they make the trailer looks kind of interesting,
true.
And then you watch the movie. And
I never thought that looked interesting.
Like, what is this?
So Coco is kind of like you're getting a gist of, you're getting a feel for what it is, but without giving too much away. So it's really kind of hard to tell. It's like too soon to tell, I think, but it's pretty.
Oh yeah, it's
beautiful.
It's about Cinco de Mayo, Day of the Dead. And,
it's beautiful.
Yeah, it looks. I mean, that's really all I know about it. It's just like that's Day of the Dead. So it looks pretty cool though. It's very like low. So there's this dress shop now. It's called The Dress Shop. The Dress Shop on Cherry Tree Lane. And it's going to be opening up March 31st. Now, what's so cool about this is we mentioned in previous podcasts about the orange bird dress. Well, this is where they're going to be having these dresses. And they're very, 50s, wouldn't you say? They're very retro. 50s inspired type dresses. They're
beautiful. But they have like
I don't have shoes to match any of them.
well, they're gonna have accessories. They're gonna have purses. They're gonna have hats. They're gonna have jewelry. They're gonna have all kinds of stuff to go with this. But we have this up on the blog. But they have like an orange bird dress. There's a mini dress. I know there's like an Alice in Wonderland one. There's like Tiki Room, and I know there's gonna be a Haunted Mansion, which there hasn't been a picture of yet. But like they have different characters and some different rides. There's a Tower Terror one that has a cute like bellhop hat that goes with the dress, and like a bag that looks like a Tower Terror hotel like suitcase. So yeah, apparently this is going to be in the Marketplace Co-op in Disney Springs, and it's going to open up on the 31st of March. And I guess they're going to have some stuff at I forget the name of the store. It's Vault something in Disneyland. And they're going to have select items there, and they're also going to have select items in the Magic Kingdom. But they're not going to be available on the parks, any of the park shopping online apps or anything like that. You have to go to the actual parks to buy the stuff.
Yeah.
At this time.
It looks pretty cool. I'm trying to think what they call that, where you're not cosplaying when you go to Disney park. Disney bounding, is that what they call it?
I don't know. Where you kind of dress like a character, but you're not actually in the costume.
Right, because you're not allowed to dress in
It's like
costume,
the theme, but not the costume. Yeah. They're beautiful dresses, though. I mean, I'm hoping they have extended sizes on it, because not everybody's a size, 6. I wish I was. But, I'm hoping they have bigger sizes. If not, hey, there's a goal to get into a smaller size to get those dresses. But that's going to be opening March 31st. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
They're really pretty, too. They're awesome. I love them so much.
Cool. Very cool stuff. Okay, that's going to do it. You can reach out directly if you want to drop us a line at piratspodcast@gmail.com, or you can go to the website at piratesandprincesses.net. Subscribe on iTunes, subscribe on Stitcher, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and all of those ridiculous number of social media accounts.
Yes, because we're everywhere. And then, you can come check out the blog at kingdominsider.com.
Yep. If you want to book a trip to Disney, we recommend mickeyvacations.com. If you go to mickeyvacations.com/PMP, you can get a customized quote from our travel affiliate.
Yes, and they're always awesome with us. I can't recommend them enough. They're so nice.
Okay, guys, we're going to wrap this one up, and we will talk to you later.
Bye.
Pirates and Princesses is a production of Clownfish Studios. We are an unofficial Disney podcast, not endorsed or affiliated with the Walt Disney Company. You can visit us on the web at piratesandprincesses.net. That's piratesandprincesses.net. You can shoot us an email at piratesspodcast@gmail.com. That's piratesspodcast@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for listening, and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.